Hello, Sharpies, and welcome to the November 16th edition of Steel Sharpens Steel. I'm Tom Cunningham.
I am Joy Stevens, and welcome everyone in the chat. Glad to see you all. Yes, Anthony, there are many thoughts on many topics tonight. And once
Many,
again,
many, many topics.
right, once again, beating everybody in the room is Anthony Turner, our number one super fan. But thank you, Vera, tuning in from YouTube, Scholarly Talk on Life. Glad to have you all here with us tonight.
Hey, Liz.
Everybody else that's out there watching, keep your eyes peeled. We're going to try and power through. There's a lot of things to talk about. And y'all know us. So, we have a tendency to get a little, go down a rabbit hole, if you will, on certain things. We're going to try and keep it up top tonight.
We're going to try to keep it up top. There are a lot of quick bits, things that are kind of like single line things. So we're going to try to power through some of those before we get into some of the meatier topics. First of all, Paul Pelosi attacker was convicted. It was a very short trial. Surprise, surprise. No one. When literally you were found holding a hammer over your victim when the police arrived. Alleged is not a word that exactly factors into things. You basically bash the man in the head.
You can't play off a bloody weapon. Like, this is not ketchup.
You're holding it.
Right. You can't be like, and scene. How was that? Did it look real? Nobody's going to believe.
We need another take? Or is that good for everybody? Everybody feel good about that? Yeah. And I don't even know why you pled not guilty. Like, I thought when he pled not guilty, it was going to be because he was going to try an insanity defense, maybe. But basically, he ended up like, well, he wasn't my intended victim.
Right. I was just trying to kill him to get him out the way. That was just a crime of opportunity. I don't think.
Paul, get out the way. Where is your wife, Paul? Get out the way. And it was just like,
he had to been trying to be all, alive and in my way. He'd have been fine. But, just go ahead and let me get at her.
Not to mention the fact that I just didn't understand that when the House is in session, maybe she was a whole country away.
Doing her job.
Doing her literal job. So convicted. Yeah. We'll see what it ends up being. Yeah, sure. Sure, Jan. So we'll end up seeing what his sentencing is going to be. I'm guessing attacking the former Speaker of the House is not going to look well for you. Orange is the new orange, I think. You're going to be sitting on some time. It's Nancy Pelosi, bruh. Like,
go ahead and get them cornrows ready, son. And just remember, when you're walking down the hallway, you hold on to the pocket tight so you don't get separated from your protector.
And I would just say you probably need to be looking up like 400 or 500 recipes for canned tuna, saltines.
How to make toilet hooch. That'll make you real popular.
Yeah, get some ramen recipes. Figure out how to work with ketchup packets. They don't have McDonald's Mambo sauce in the Poke, so sorry for you about that. Next up in our quick takes, we have to bid farewell to a person whose march to the White House has come undone. And the question I posed on my Facebook page is, in No Shave November, what is Tim Scott going to do with his beard?
Shouldn't this say Bubba Baba?
I have a choba to spibby my baby. Yeah, Tim Scott. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Tim. It was a great effort. Your gums got a lot more exposure than they did last year, so congratulations for that.
Did you say his gums got a lot more exposure?
I did.
Wow.
They were on camera for a lot more time than they had.
It was a lot of real estate,
A lot. You could have done fundraising just by selling off portions of your gums. I think you could have made them elephantine typhus. You could have sold the space to the DeSantis campaign. For
the price of a cup of coffee, you too can own from the first molar to the second canine, and put a tiny house right there.
Tiny house. Just like
this is my urban housing plan. It's tiny houses.
Like Second Life. You too can add one of Tim Scott's teeth to the Mexico wall.
Let me tell you something right now. She done with him.
Listen.
If she ain't already gone, she about to be.
Is there anybody else who is at all interested in a professed virgin hooking up with a woman with 3 kids?
You could have stopped that sentence as anybody
What?
Interested in a professed virgin. Look at here. I stopped dealing with training wheels in my 20s. I can't really see being, I said training wheels. Little to the left, little to the right. Slow down. You're done. Okay, I can go home. Yeah, ain't nobody trying to teach you nothing at the age of whatever, 40, 50, whatever you are.
50 something.
50 something.
Well, I'm guessing he might not be 50 yet. And I'm not going to wiki it because I don't care.
I don't care. I just feel like when it does finally happen, it's going to be like just dust coming.
Yet nobody's going to be swimming. They're going to be walking with canes out of there.
Never seen a walker on a sperm. Anyway. White Air Force.
All incisors, not toilet tops. Jesus.
All incisors.
Chan.
Oh.
Chan.
This is just a rope-a-dope at this point.
Chan, I need you to go stand in the corner like the Blair Witch Kid.
Right.
Please. That he said 32 Air Force Ones.
30.
Is he 57?
32.
58.
He's either 57 or 58. One of the two.
Wow.
But 32 toilet tops. That's the winner. I'm waiting. Chan, we're going to see if you can come better than that anytime, because I feel like you've peaked early in tonight's show, son, because that's hilarious.
Exactly. That's, whoo, boy.
Just save it up. Don't try to do it
hot and fast. 32
right.
Toilet tops.
Right. A mouth full of white Air Force Ones. All I can hear is gibba bubba, me bubba, tuba bubba, pair.
Oh, I want a crib, baby, my two teep.
He should have hired her earlier.
Bruh. I mean, she looked like she came out of clip art. Couldn't we have just gone to like Envato right. or Adobe stock and
here we have clip art Barbie.
I mean, he could have green screened himself like this. And you could have just inserted her.
How do you know that didn't happen? Have you seen her move at the same time that he moves? Where's his right hand when she started talking?
When I move, you move. Gums are black. When I move, you move. Gums are black.
Didn't I tell y'all we would go down a rabbit hole? This is supposed to be a quick one.
You got to stop.
The jokes write themselves, people.
I took the thing off because we're going to move on to the next one. This is our first announced story. Okay, I promise. Last thing on this. If y'all remember the first edition of Scary Movie, when Anna Faris had been keeping her boyfriend out the draws, and then in the last portion of the movie, the last act of the movie, they finally get it on, and
and he's like, "Here,
go!"
And he plastered her to the ceiling,
and his body was like drawn in.
Yes, he got mummified immediately.
All the liquid just came out at once and shit.
That's what it's gonna be like. His gums gonna recede even more.
Yeah. Oh boy. So the first really big story, and this is a story that came in today, which was kind of a shocker to me, because this is a person who legit has no shame at all. But we have George Santos, who has finally given up the ghost and has announced that he will not seek re-election. He still has a year, but now that the ethics report has come out just about 2 weeks after they had considered possibly removing him from Congress, a lot of people, including some Democrats, elected not to vote for removal because the ethics report had not yet come out. Now the ethics report has come out, and the Republicans are going to bring it up for expulsion in, well, probably not next week because they're probably all about to leave for Thanksgiving. But by the time they come back, if they don't do it tomorrow, which I guess they could,
probably won't, but they could, yeah.
He is not going to survive. And the only real question right now, they have a 3-vote threshold between 3 defections possible from the GOP before they can still pass stuff on their own. Losing George, who was, of course, a reliable mainstream vote because he has to go with the majority.
Right.
He can't afford to be Freedom Caucus.
No, not at all.
Freedom. No, he was going to vote as he was told.
They're going to feel it though, that he's going to be gone.
They are,
but it's a mitigation of it's a lesser of two evils, because if you leave him in place, chaos.
It's been 9 months
taking the hit. Yeah,
you should have removed him as soon as the news broke. But you thought, oh, and so now you waited 9 months only to end up with the result that you knew was inevitable. This dude used campaign funds for Botox.
I need y'all to understand how trifling that is. Botox is not that expensive, not anymore. But he decided, you know what, I'm gonna take this $700 out of my campaign, and I'm gonna put it right in my forehead, so I can, so he can try to continue to pass, at least physically pass a lie detector test. If I Botox it all, you won't see any micro action in my face. You having too much fun with the Botox.
Well, and here's the other thing. If you recall, the exact reason why McCarthy was ousted was because he passed a continuing resolution that included Democratic votes. And Mike Johnson literally just did the exact same thing. But the doublespeak and the ingsoc of the GOP right now is such that, well, he just got in office and he came into the speakership in the third quarter.
He was at a deficit. We got to give him a pass.
You got to give him a little things, but at the same time saying the honeymoon is over, and if you don't straighten up and fly right now, everything's off the table.
Ma'am.
Only sans toast.
That even sounds worse.
Not only fan support. Híjole. So we've got George finally likely getting the boot. Yeah. And that's a good thing. I mean, it is necessarily a good thing, not for the least of which reasons is that it almost certainly assures that if there is a special election, there's going to be a Democrat seated. And also, so
just from a trending standpoint, we have got, as humans who live in the United States, we have got to start righting the ship when it comes to the decorum of office of our elected officials. We can't continue to just let what the hell ever go on either side. I will say the Democrats tend to be a little bit more responsible with, oh, I've done something wrong, let me censure myself. I will never forget Al Franken stepping down because I didn't think he should have. But that level of, okay, well, let me remove myself just so I don't bring dishonor on my party. Meanwhile, the rest of them was like, you know what? I'll pee on a little girl on camera and tell you it didn't happen and to stay in my office. We're going to be pedophiles. Come on, let's make poor decisions. Like, they're just rocking with it.
We're going to be pedophiles. It's really bad. I think probably.
I did not understand what Vera meant earlier.
Okay.
When Vera said, don't forget OnlyFans. Where's the other one? She said, don't forget OnlyFans support also for Santos. I thought she meant he was on OnlyFans trying to get money. No, he was spending money
on OnlyFans
and Sephora. Lord have mercy.
Lies. You have got to be kidding me. he was using campaign funds for OnlyFans.
Whose feet are that fine that you had to go get campaign funds? Oh my God.
No, I can't.
Right. And then, yeah. What is the name of the Oklahoma congressman that he's talking about? Because the GOP is buckling from the inside out, which.
You talking about Cotton?
Maybe yes. But so yes, she's right. It actually was money on OnlyFans and Sephora. Bruh.
Not even Savage Fenty?
I mean, it is at Sephora. So
right, that's true.
And she will definitely have his color tone because Rihanna's people know what they're doing.
That's true.
But there's one other thing that we might want to touch on. So if you can't read this, it says Chip Roy said, talked a big game about building a wall and having Mexico pay for it. Ain't no wall, and Mexico didn't pay for it, and we didn't pass any border security. This is from Chip Roy, right? So
Chip was on one.
Mm-hmm.
Chip was like, name one thing.
I saw that
video. My colleagues, one thing that I can go campaign on. One thing of substance other than we're not the Democrats.
Right. And he was right.
One. Oh, no, he's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they have any shame about any of that, but oh, yes, he was absolutely right.
Right.
Without question.
Right. Papa Sanders had to be like, you children stop fighting. You whippersnapper 60-year-olds, calm down.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about or set up Bernie Sanders stopping a fist fight between a sitting senator and a representative of the unions. We didn't even do that.
You know what? I hope he got all the Christmas gifts that he wanted out of his campaign funds because he's done. Oh, and all of this coming to light, technically, they should make him give all that money back.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Wayne, there it is, Anthony. Thank you. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. But just on a different note, this is what happens when you lack direction and your only goal is a negative.
Mm-hmm.
You're not talking about what you want to do, not talking about what you want to accomplish, not talking about your plan other than we're not them. They suck. We don't want them to do this. You can't govern that way. You can't govern through no. You can only govern through how do we move forward. And that is what the GOP has lost sight of in a major way. Like, this isn't even about, race or social justice at this point. This is about who is making sure the lights stay on in the government. Who is making sure that even though I think the way we do border control right now is kind of a mess, we do have to protect our borders. We do have to have foreign policy. We do have to have trade with other nations. We do have to have food and clean drinking water for Americans. And we're failing at a good number of those things because we're too busy breaking up fist fights like it's 1774. Think about that number. Breaking up fist fights, right? Yeah, exactly. But the swamp was supposed to be getting drained. That's what this is all about. And it's been nothing but a shit show ever since.
Well, and to be clear, when they're not fighting each other, you have senators like Corich Tuberville holding up what used to be routine bipartisan procedures, like confirming military promotions.
What the hell?
And because he's saying, I'm sick of people inserting politics, but your displeasure with abortions isn't inserting politics?
Right. Oh, well, that's women. Women aren't human. Women don't count. Right. They don't get a vote. Yeah. We should have never taught them to read in the first place.
When Tuberville was born, women didn't have the franchise. So, true. To be fair.
True.
While we're talking about, this is something that we did queue up because we're talking about Congress right now. It was Democratic votes that passed Mike Johnson's continuing resolution. And so we've already said that he may face some eventual repercussions for that. It looks like they're going to leave him alone for the time being, especially now that George Santos is going away. But I have to give credit to my parallel sans, Hakeem Jeffries, because as soon as that thing came out, he was like, oh, no, we're looking at it. We're checking it out. There's some things we have some concerns about. We're definitely checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, passed with Democratic votes, gets to the Senate. Senate's like, yes, we're not playing games. And it's so funny how Congress right now, the GOP Congressional Caucus, is the kids sitting at the card table at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And the Senate is like, can I just
Check,
have
please.
some cranberry sauce?
Right.
Can I get some more gravy for this dry ass turkey, please? Like, I mean, it's
it is a no-win, mutually assured destruction. That's the phrase I'm looking for. It is mutually assured destruction in that they can't get anything done without some level of Democratic support. Democrats over here standing strong, knowing that they won't get any support from the Republicans, and then using that as an example. See, this is why we can't get anything done, because they're unreasonable. Y'all are unreasonable too. And so we're so deep into he said, she said, these colors don't run type of politics that they don't get anything done. But, and this is a big but, there are purple ass states. Every one of the states right now, including some of the blue ones, are purple. There is no definitive, we're always going to do this. As was evidenced in the 2020 election, you can't count on none of your standards. And so at the end of the day, all this posturing, as somebody mentioned earlier, all this puffing of their chest out only to see it get deflated, you need to suck it up and do your job, because the people at home are tired of hearing you blame it on other people. And that's been a running, honestly, this has been the GOP's raison d'etre since Obama got in office. Remember, our whole goal is to make him a one-term president, and they couldn't even do that. And so then here he is again. We're going to stop everything. Luckily, they were dealing with somebody that understood the law. And so he was able to figure out how to get stuff done in spite of or around them. But now it's just been a circus. Biden is trying to figure out how to get wins that people actually can hear and see. But the GOP is like, we're still the party of Trump, and we hate them too, and we're never going to work with them. I also want people to remember this idea of partisanship is kind of new. It was always the country against other countries, maybe, except for them 4 or 5 years where we kind of had a whole civil war. But other than that, we've always been kind of unified in what is best for the people of America. The way that the Congress and Senate, all of DC is out of touch right now with the suffering that is going on in the United States is almost criminal. You know, just being able to posture for all these, granted, some of the things that they're doing have to happen. We have to support our allies. We have to take a stance on certain things. We have to be seen as being magnanimous. If we're going to be a world power, we got to help use some of that power to help other people. I get that, but it's a whole lot of hungry people in the United States.
You know, it is worth saying that one of the reasons that the partisan rancor has been ratcheted up to the level to which it has been ratcheted is that so many of the rabid Trump supporters are dumb as a box of rocks. They don't have the critical thinking skills to be American. They want to be Trump-carican. That's all they care about. And so that's a good way to put it, because when these people, and granted, the liberal pundits that are going out with their microphones to Trump rallies and are sticking them in the faces, they know they're sticking them in the faces of really dumb people.
Right.
But that is where they are. You ask a person now, are Biden's policies hurting you? Did Trump's policies hurt you? They just came out with a poll that said more people think that Trump policies, quote unquote, helped them and Biden's policies are hurting them. Mm-hmm. But that's not because they actually have considered the question.
It's because they've
heard Biden inflation and Bidenomics and da-da-da-da-da-da, and they think they roll back to the halcyon days of Trump's achievements. The Dow is higher, which is the measure.
But you got to remember,
Trump is going to be higher. The Dow is going to be the biggest, the best ever. And if Biden is elected, it's going to tumble.
None of the people that they're asking about policies look at the Dow.
No.
They probably, and I'm not trying to be classist or oversimplify, but they probably don't have hefty retirement plans or 401ks or what have you that will require them to worry about what the stock market is doing. That's for the rich elite, which they forget Trump is a member of, well, a posturing member of, but that ain't got nothing to do with them. They just know they felt better. They felt better when they had a bully in the White House that spoke to their desire to put themselves above other people, whether it was right or not. So Trump's policy is everybody that follows me is a winner. That's what they liked.
Right.
You know?
And he
Biden's policy,
injected that
all work
bullshit
together
directly into their lizard brain.
Right. It's an endorphin rush. And Biden's policies, which has been largely, we need to figure out how to work together to save, to save the economy and save the next generation. Fucking kids, like, they don't care. They don't care. That doesn't make me feel better about myself to know that I need to help somebody. Like,
no,
I can't even.
It's got to be about me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say this. I don't know. Usually I'm hesitant to credit things like gas prices because I know it's all a marketplace volatility question. But I will say this, gas in the last month has come down $1.80 in California.
That's a lot.
I only go to Costco now. I went to Costco and got premium gas for $4.95 a gallon. Now, I know that doesn't mean anything to most of the people who are outside of California, but believe me when I tell you, a month ago, $6.79 for a gallon of premium.
Mm-hmm.
And that's major. I mean, I don't recall spending too much less than $5 during Trump's administration.
Mm-mm.
It was less in Obama's administration. It was less before then. But I mean, $5 in California, that's been like de rigueur for a while now.
Yeah.
So
and to have it drop below that is significant. Yeah.
So to be down to $4.95 for premium. So that means, for regular gas, you're talking $4.49 probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to stop you from making comments. Are you serious? $2.67?
Not for premium, but for regular.
No, but still for regular gas.
Yeah, I think premium is like $3.59 or something.
I could fly to Atlanta with a gas can and probably save money bringing gas back to California.
You might want to think about it.
I mean, damn.
Right.
I could just put it in big plastic bags, carry it on,
and check it back into.
No. That's not gasoline. It's.
Are you carrying anything flammable? No.
That's Jello. Gelatin.
Yeah.
See, it jiggles.
There's always room for Jello on this plane. Anyway, yeah.
It's one of our favorite segments in the show is dealing with a person that we all love to hate, and that is Donald Trump. And so the big headline this week for Donald Trump relates to the release of the excerpts from the proffer videos that each of the people who flipped in the Fani Willis trial proffered before they actually signed their plea agreements, where their plea agreements were approved. Now, proffer is a specific legal term, but it almost means the same thing as offer. It is to present something to the other party as a condition of a negotiation.
Imagine, if you will, that you are giving somebody the trailer to your confessional movie. Here's what I'm going to say. Is this worth me getting a pardon? Watch this. I can't stand you. But that's pretty much what it is. And what are you going to say when you decide to speak? Watch this. He knew all about this. Yeah.
And so this is what happened. The first thing that broke was Jenna Ellis, and the juiciest tidbit. Now, Fani Willis is trying to go. We don't know exactly how this stuff got leaked, but the Jenna Ellis revelation was the first big juicy thing. And what Jenna said is that she talked to people who were in the room with Trump, and she was like, yeah, it doesn't look so good. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. We ain't leaving. She's like, what you mean we ain't leaving? Oh, no. The boss says, under no circumstances are we leaving the White House. We're just going to retain power.
Right. And understand that if it was just her testimony and nothing else, that would kind of be hearsay. But they can subpoena the people that said it because they got names. Now it becomes witness testimony. So yeah, as she threw him under the bus, she dragged some people with her so she could climb out on top. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at her.
Bus tracks, bus tracks, bus tracks, bus tracks. Here's the bus that hit your back and you are now dead too. So she just went and, I mean, did this.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that's a huge part of that is it speaks to intent. Because Trump never says anything to anybody, he never gives direct commands to anybody, blah, 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 blah. He was hiding behind the shield of, well, even if I did do this, I didn't do it thinking that I was doing something wrong. I was just advice of counsel, whatever.
Right.
Advice of counsel falls apart under the Ken Chesebro issue. So the Ken Chesebro issue was the next shoe. So John Eastman's fighting for his professional life, facing disbarment in California, going on 60 Minutes, you know, kind of holding the line. I have to say, people were talking about that 60 Minutes interview was some big bombshell revelation. I thought he actually handled himself pretty well as far as, you know, holding his position and trying to make it seem as though he had a rational, reasonable position. And Scott Pelley tried to like catch him and all this other stuff, but I didn't think it was the knockout blow. But what Ken Chesebro said is, bro, I didn't take my deal. If I got a bus track your ass, then I'm good with that. Are you? Oh, look around. Everybody's on mute.
You're right. I did mute myself. I was trying to pull up another video for later, and I forgot I muted myself. So I'm just over here.
So I was just saying, and you were probably responding to this, that Ken Chesebro just basically told John Eastman, yeah, so he was that guy. I mean, I had mentioned the whole memo thing, but Eastman was the one who was really like
I'm not with
talking
him.
about the Pence piece.
I don't even know him.
Yeah, I'm not with him.
Right. Checks, separate checks.
Yeah, no. I'm good. Yeah, you can do 2 cards, right? You can split it.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. All right, I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm out. So we have not gotten anything from Sidney Powell yet. No juicy tidbits. The juicy tidbits are there. They've got to be there.
And here's the thing. Well, here's the other thing to consider. As the lower level dominoes fall, the higher level got to come with something stronger. If the proffer from Jenna is like on a C- level, you got to bring me your B+ game. I need something bigger than that, because if you're not giving me anything that I haven't already gotten from her, you're going down. I'm not going to give you a plea deal. And so it is posturing to some extent for people to say, I'm not going to bargain. I'm not going to plea. I'm going to stand by my man. That's mine. I'm gonna stick with him. Everybody else is like, how much do you need from me for me not to go to jail?
Oh, listen, you know, right before Thanksgiving week, when them video clips dropped, there were people like,
wait, they looking back like I Turner.
Right. Now that's my daddy's name. It's got my daddy's blood on it. No. And Mike Lindell has lost his natural love and mind. Rudy Giuliani's desperation is reaching a fever pitch.
Rudy out here fucking vitamins. Yo, remember when Rudy Giuliani was like America's mayor? What happened? Well, I know what happened.
Yeah, well, you know what happened.
That's what chasing money will do to you. The love of money is the root of all evil, and we have seen the evil bleed right off of him on camera. How you just sweating oil? The fuck?
You know what he looked like? He looked like the dude from The Fifth Element when the evil planet was coming.
Gary Oldman.
He had a little thing, and he's like 300 million. And it was like, oh, actually, just like, click. That was Rudy Giuliani. And guess what? You're not even getting the 300 million Zergs or whatever.
But let's also remember that Zorg was on the phone with Evil when he started to bleed from the face.
Right.
So I'm just saying there, art imitates life, imitates art.
Evil is his one and only name.
Oh,
no.
Nope,
That's not better.
still
That's not
rolling with
better
the
than
32
32
toilet
toilet
seats.
seats.
Yeah. Try
Um,
again.
yeah, we're more than willing. Chan, you have an
That was
open.
a challenge.
You have an
B32
open
toilet seat.
invitation, bruh. You have an open invitation.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have some funny clips that we want to share. We've been sharing stuff back and forth on Instagram, but before we get to that,
Oh yeah, he's going to jail too. The
oh
one black
really?
defendant. Yeah, she revoked his bond.
What
She's
did he
about
do?
to. Running his mouth, I believe.
Well, I know that one of the things that was particularly problematic for him was that he basically asked for so much discovery. He asked literally for every write-in ballot. He asked for every vote from every district, because his position is that if we prove factually that there was sufficient fraud to change the election, then nothing that he said was untrue. But no. You overstep, bro. You are definitely not Donald Trump. You're less Donald Trump than Tim Scott, and Tim Scott's a whole senator.
I want to talk about this really quickly though, because this is something that we need people to understand. The internet is forever, and if you're our age, if you're like Gen X or Boomer or higher, you remember a time where you didn't put your whole business out on the street. We don't do things for likes. We don't do things for clicks. That is not how we gain popularity. I mean, we've got this show right here, but that's a whole different story. But going on and thinking that you can go on social media and make threats to a public figure, and that the public figure that is in charge of your freedom, and think that you're not going to get at least a hand slap or get slapped back in jail for it, is ridiculous. People have lost the ability to separate judicial process from the, what do they call it? The court of public opinion. It don't matter how many tweens and Gen Zs or whatever like your little threat online. That is tangible evidence that can be used against you to keep your ass right in jail. What were you thinking? And I don't understand how so many people that have these platforms that have been elected to office for whatever reason don't understand the basics, not even of the law, but of how the internet works. I don't understand how you think you're not on camera. You think we didn't see you groping your man at the play. You think we don't hear you doing these threats. You think this is just invisible and only the people that follow you are going to see this? That is the dumbest thing to me. And it keeps happening over and over again.
You know what the big difference is for people like us, Joy? And I'm a little bit older than you even. If you wanted to harangue someone when we were in school, you had to go to the payphone with a sack full of nickels.
Right. Better yet, if you was going to talk greasy about somebody, you was usually outside playing the dozens with a crowd.
Right.
And then it might have gotten around to maybe 20 more people. Ooh, this is happening outside. But when it's over, it's over.
It's over. It's into the ether. You are sitting there, and even if you delete it off your page, if you do anything moderately controversial on the internet, Twitter, the X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, somebody has grabbed it.
The minute it happened, they screenshot.
And even if they haven't grabbed it, when you're making charges against a state official, they can petition whatever servers, whatever, to get the actual data if it hadn't already been screenshot, which of course it had. So it's just astonishing to me. And one of the things that has empowered this kind of mania is that Trump never pays any price. But Trump is a past president of this country.
And before that, I keep going back to he was a celebrity, and in some circles, a desirable person. I can't even say symbol. But you ain't got that kind of swag. You ain't got that kind of following. You don't even have that kind of support within your own party. You can't pull this kind of thing off. You are a peasant.
And they were actually considering his request. Like the judge was like, well, let me take a look at what you're asking for.
And then you're gonna come out, I'll murder, bruh. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, you're done. You're done. And
remember, hold the pocket tight when you walk down the hall.
And you were able to get the bail. You were able to get it because those folks who wanted you to be a martyr and wanted to raise money off you, they happily helped raise your bond. But now that your bond has been revoked, ain't no more raising. You are raising in the sun. See what I did there?
Bond deferred.
What happens to a bond deferred? Is it crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Does it stink like rotten meat?
Have you seen him?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure it stinks.
Anyway,
so before we get into some of the fun stuff, because we're at 41 minutes, so I think this is a pretty good time frame that we're doing right now. We have to talk about something a little less political. Actually, not completely political, not completely less political, because it does speak to issues of misogynoir along similar lines as Megan Thee Stallion and The Hobbit, and any number of other persons, female entertainers who have faced violence against their person. So KeKe Palmer. Now, I have to say, when he had his gaslighty, hotepish or photepish,
you a mother, that whole thing,
right? I get you a mother though, and his broken English attempt to suppress a woman whose outfit he observed as she was going out to the Usher concert, whatever, keeping that to himself. Months later, after an apparent, a cessation of their relationship, but not a termination of their relationship.
It took a break.
And whatever, comes out that she has filed for a restraining order and is filed for custody and has earned custody from a judge, sole custody of her child, right? Because she's the mother and has an income.
And the breadwinner, and the victim of abuse.
And the victim of abuse. So this is what we have from Darius, who nobody barely knew your brother, who was more famous from Insecure, but he was barely more famous from Insecure. His teeth and Tim Scott's gums would be enough to dig through the crust of the earth and nonstop take you all the way, a bore drill through the other side of the earth. That's how.
Did you say he had a backhoe in his mouth?
Backhoe. Yeah, it was front hole, back
from the
hole,
inside out.
So, I'm just saying, you're Sandrunius or whatever his name is. People barely knew him. Nobody knew you.
Right, because remember, when you talk about the dude on Insecure, I don't know his name. I know him as the light-skinned dude on Insecure that was shit. Like, that's right. You are your peak was as a character that people didn't really care for.
Right. You were the side
and
piece.
You're the brother of a C-lister.
Right. And
I wouldn't know your name was Darius now if I hadn't had to look it up and find a picture earlier.
And here's what we have. There it is. He kind of looks like a light-skinned Damon Wayans Jr. in that picture.
He does.
Kind of. But this is what happens when you have people who are riding for someone, and that person that they're riding for is not you. So we're going to share this because I love this woman. Hold on one second.
You're right, Darius better hush. Because yes, let's not forget, Chicago is not one to play with. Oh yes, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is the business. So we're gonna share this right now. This is the FAFO moment.
Hello and welcome back. A lot of you all have said, Rashonda, you're not KeKe Palmer, but you stay letting us know what the gag is. And to that, I say thank you. Today, we're here to discuss something that we learned as early as pre-K, yet you all still are confused. It's really very simple. Let's check the board.
Oh,
what are you doing?
Number one, in pre-K, they teach you what? Keep your eyes on your own paper. Okay. This is for future pocket watchers and haters. Okay. But the most important one, keep your hands to yourself. Okay, Darius, I'm not sure if you missed this day, but let me let you know. You need to go into witness protection immediately. Okay? Why would you put your hands on a woman? And why would you put your hands on KeKe? Are you done? We're not going to let it slide. There will be slow singing and flower bringing if we find you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do you want to be carried by 6? You have lost your mind, sir. And we are here to help you find it. Keep your hands to yourself, lest you be put in the ground. Okay? Mm-hmm. Thanks. Hello, and welcome back.
So I absolutely love this sister.
I love her. I love all of her stuff. She's hilarious. And I love her little, some people say at the beginning.
Yeah.
I do want to get serious for a moment and touch on something that she's mentioning around keep your hands to yourself. In the work that I do a lot of stuff around diversity, inclusion, etc. I have heard more times than I really care to think about, well, if women want equality, how come I can't punch them in the face? Because you can't punch anybody in the face.
In the face.
You're not supposed to put your hands on anybody. Now, generally speaking, and this is, again, it's an absolute, I'm dealing in generalizations. Generally speaking, men, if we keep them at the same height, a man that is 5'9" is going to be physically stronger than a woman who is 5'9". We'll take reach out of it. Just the power behind the punch, the musculature is going to be different. You're going to hit her and it's going to hurt more, most likely, than she hits you. That being said, you ain't supposed to hit your brother. You're not supposed to hit all your male relatives. You're not supposed to hit people. You're supposed to use your words, which brings me to the other point. Toxic masculinity is to blame for all of the, and it's not just about, oh, these toxic men are out here damaging and beating up women. They don't know. They're emotionally stunted. They are the walking poster children for arrested development. They don't know how to deal with their emotions. He's been mad ever since Usher brought. Then she had nerve to get in Usher's video. He's mad about all of that. He doesn't know how to have a grown conversation. He doesn't know how to just leave on his own. And so he put hands on it and had been going on probably for more than just what we know about. I'm reminded, if you remember, what was it? Luke Cage, season 2, whenever it was.
2. He didn't have a 3.
Season 2, where he punched the wall. And Rosario Dawson was like, I've seen where this goes. I'm out. I thought that was probably one of the realest things they did, on that show, because he's bulletproof. So clearly that was one of the realest things he did. But I really think that if we just want to talk about family, if we just want to talk about Black people, we have got to start allowing our men to express a full range of emotions. And I'm going to talk to the women on this real quick. I need the women to stop buying into this toxic masculinity thing as if it's right. I've seen, and I know that I'm pushing 50, so my perspective might be a little bit different, but I've seen women say like, oh, he said he was sad. That's excuse this phrase, that's gay. I don't know that. Oh, he takes a bath. Oh, that's gay. You know what? Oh, I can't stand no man that expresses his emotions. This is how you end up. This is what you get when you don't allow someone to have a full range of emotions. We can even go into taking arts out of school. If you can't express yourself in a healthy manner, if you can't use music or theater or dance or any of that because that's for girls or whatever, what is left to you? Gun violence, bringing knives to school, fighting on the playground. I mean, think about how generally speaking, men tend to express all of their range of emotions. I'm happy my team won. Let's fight. I'm sad my team lost. Let's fight. My child was just born. I'm going to punch my cousin in the face. I love my dad. Let me wrestle him to the ground. What the hell are we doing? And we cannot save everyone, but we can try to save each other. And so every man that is watching this show right now, when you see one of your boys say something out of pocket, don't let it slide. Don't think he's just playing. Don't say, well, I don't feel like dealing with this right now. Kill it every time you see it. Because that is the tip of the iceberg. When when they vocalize, man, I should have knocked her out. Oh, bro. What are you talking about? We don't put our hands on anybody, let alone a woman. Women, I just feel like if he really loved me, he would just fight for me. Ma'am, no. Pick a better relationship. There's a lot of healing that needs to go on in every level of male-female relationships. But we can start with stop using violence as a communication tool. How about we start there?
You know, you bring up a great point, and I saw a meme shared today or yesterday about how people are using violent terms in The Office. And they had the original term, like, I'll bite the bullet on this one, which you should translate into, I'll take the lead on this one.
Yeah.
Or we need to kill this. We need to stop focusing on this project. Or
you murdered that.
Yeah, you murdered that. You know, great job on your presentation. So when you incorporate the idea of violence into your normal thinking, if you put that in your brain as, well, this is how I operate and think and consider, then it is easier to slide into the actual practice of violence. And we saw a little bit of this there's a horrible trend right now with celebrity women who have achieved a certain tier of success, and the partners they have chosen to align themselves with, and how they are not able to, well, I mean, unironically, yes, how they are not able to deal with the success. And so Halle Berry's little boyfriend, flipped out, did a whole song about how he was feeling insecure because she was holding the hand of her co-star at a premiere. And by the way,
I'd rather him do a song, but I'd also rather him be more mature about a 50-plus-year-old woman be holding hands.
Right.
In America, we catching people groping each other.
No. I'm sorry. I said Halle Berry. Bailey is what I meant. Sorry.
Bailey. Yeah.
Halle Berry. Right. So she's in her 20s, much more vulnerable.
You know what's funny is I knew who you meant.
Right. But see, here's the really pathological part of this is that, again, nobody really knew who dude was. Everybody knows who Halle Bailey is. And by the way, in case you were confused, everybody who was saying that The Little Mermaid was going to flop and guess what? You know what movie The Little Mermaid has surpassed worldwide in terms of box office? Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Now put that in your pipe and smoke it. And I guarantee Little Mermaid didn't cost as much.
Not nearly.
And I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, because, you know, people were talking trash and how this, that, and that. $536 million worldwide. Domestically and worldwide, it has outpaced Mission Impossible. And Dead Reckoning, I thought Dead Reckoning was an amazing movie.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's amazing.
I saw Little Mermaid, though.
You saw Little Mermaid. Saw both in the theater. So when people talk about this, and just as an aside, tomorrow, because I don't want to forget this isn't the last thing we're going to talk about, but before we get off the show, Rustin comes to Netflix tomorrow. And if you were interested in being a part of a watch party for Rustin, you can go to bit.ly, so bit.ly/watch Rustin. You can use the capital W, capital R, or lowercase w, lowercase r. Watch Rustin, so that you can be on the Netflix teleparty for this movie, which talks about the life of Bayard Rustin, centering on the March on Washington. It is headlined by Coleman Domingo.
It's going to be great. I mean, it
is going to be amazing. And also, probably, if you're in Jack and Jill or affiliated with the Lynx or a sorority or fraternity, probably there's going to be a Color Purple screening coming to you in December, because they are putting a full court press. Oprah wants Black folks up in the theaters buying them daggone tickets. So keep your eye out on those two things. And of course, Renaissance is coming out in a week or so. I'm
so glad I didn't go to that concert. I'm so glad she's doing this, so I didn't have to pay them tickets.
Because I would have been in the nosebleeds in a wheelchair, which was not going to be fun.
I want to follow up on Elaine's comments again. Too many little boys are not taught emotional accountability. That is different from emotional expression. So what she means is, and forgive me for trying to joy explain this, but emotional accountability, you can't just be mad and expect the world to deal with your mad. You need to get a control over your own emotions. You can't just lash out and then blame the people that you lashed out against for being in the way of your violent tirade, which we see a lot of at multiple ages in the United States. Former president, notwithstanding, but she goes on to say, you have the right to your emotions. You do not have the right to attack anyone because of your emotions. That's the proverb. Right. Your right to swing your fists stops at my face.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Mm-hmm. So, so Liz is saying that the concert was terrific, and I will be at the movie too. I bought my tickets for the first. So I'm definitely going to be there. We do have a couple of other things. There were some things that I thought were just very funny. And we're talking about emotional maturity and emotional accessibility. And so this was something that I just found to be very funny. It's probably not going to resonate quite as well for folks that aren't familiar with Southern California. But let's take a look at this.
I was a lonely prick. Broken heart, cuz. Till I downloaded Thug Mingle. Who knew love was right at the end of my fingertips?
I was sick of these fake busters. I needed me a real one in my life. Now I got me a man with all type of good passion, baby. Hello.
Yeah, we could just keep it simple. Wow. I like long romantic walks through the set, blood.
Yeah, we could just go get some crib legs on the set, cuz.
That's a little bit too expensive for my taste, blood. We could just piece up on the floaty or something. You my boo though.
I love you, babe.
Tempo, baby, tempo!
I got who you love?
I knew I needed me somebody active. So when I met him in press,
we just talked about violence.
Just for me.
Where you from?
Where you from? Who your people? Hey, John.
This is on your uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, because I never thought I'd fall in love with the enemy. Thanks to Thug Mingle, man, they specialize in inter-gang relations. For real.
I'm not with him.
It's jokes. It's jokes. I forgot about the active punch. I did. I thought it was funny that the Crips.
I think we were talking about using, like, not putting your hands on people. And then, but this is funny. So, yes, we need to police ourselves as well. We recognize the hypocrisy of what we just did.
I do. I do. So here's something that is completely anodyne and innocuous that I just found to be hilarious, notwithstanding the fact that Mary is being presented as a clearly Southern California white woman. But I did enjoy this. I thought this was funny. And so this will be the last thing that I share. Related to our stuff that we see on the interwebs. So here we go. Oh, Joy put something in. So
For a few more people to join. Fighting.
Try now.
Are you gonna address the fact that Joseph said he's not the father of your child? No, I'm not gonna address that here. It's on my story. What's immaculate conception? Google it. You look beautiful. Thank you. What do you think about the fact that the whole village is talking shit? Honestly, most of the people that are talking shit are just like clout chasers. I know a lot of people were vying for that position to like be the vessel that brings forth the Messiah. And like obviously I got it. So I don't know. I just keep it pushing, honestly. I like your outfit. Thank you. I got it for one sheep and a fish.
I got it. I'm gonna start saying it. Thank you. I got it for one sheep and a fish.
Sheep and a fish.
That's hilarious. I love it. She's like, they're just like cloud chasing. Like that is every live I've accidentally stumbled upon in the last 3 or 4 years.
The thing that actually sold it for me was when she just started breaking out into the song that she's listening to in the background.
Well, she was like, "What's immaculate conception?" And Google it.
Google it.
Yo, that was
your outfit. Thank you.
Thank you. I got it for one sheep and a fish.
One sheep and a fish. These are things we see so much in the interwebs. I thought that was going to be the last thing. We're not going to share a video on this, but we probably should give a shout out to Zahara Jolie for crossing Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated at Spelman.
Congratulations to the Sweet Mu Pi chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated for bringing in Angelina Jolie's child. They made sure y'all saw her too. I gotta give to them. Congrats. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for the sorority. I think that it's a good fit. I mean, her last name is Pretty Jolie. Right. So and you're not gonna be pretty.
She's a 7. So all you 7 clubs out there, just be aware that that's where she came through. If they scoop up Mama as an honorary, then I guess we'll have.
We ain't gonna be mad,
I mean, do it, make it happen.
I think it's a great idea
because when she broke that neck on that hair shaking thing, we didn't do hair shaking back when I was the AKAs, the Beta Alpha AKAs did not do hair shaking like that.
There's a whole lot of stuff that didn't. Essence has a story about it. I didn't know that. Damn, so check out your latest issue of Essence as well.
Oh, is it Essence.com? Let us know.
Probably Essence.com. Probably Essence.com. I don't think it would have made the magazine. You're right. No. It's .com. So go check it out. Keep Essence alive.
Keep Essence alive. Mm-hmm. Now, Joy, you have something to share, this is internet adorability.
Right. So one of the things, again, I want to roll it all the way back to emotional accountability, being able to express a wide range of emotions. We got to stop clipping the emotional wings of our male children. Let them be who they want to be. Stop trying to pigeonhole them into what you wish your life would have been at one point, or use them as a vessel to take it out on your spouse. We got to stop. But I want to start bringing more of this to our show, back to our show, just these little happy moments of pure, unadulterated Black boy joy. And so I'm going to share this with you right now. This is so cute. Now, if I can get the mute to work.
It's underneath the little icons.
There we go.
I'm Michael Jackson. You can win. You can't get even. You can't get out of the game. You can win, child. You can't get even out of the game.
Get it. Woo! Get it.
It's on down the road.
That boy had some Maruchan cup of noodles as his hat. If that wasn't the most accurate movie whiz accurate costume.
The minute I saw him, I was like, why he got the Michael Jackson scarecrow nose? And he's like, I'm Michael Jackson. I was like, oh, my heart. Right? If I had ovaries, it would have been like, yeah.
And putting his arms through the banister, you can't win.
He studied. That was some method acting right there. I think that kid's his career got some legs on it for sure.
Oh, legs. I see what you did there. Even though his lyrics were about as spot on as
any random one of us, because that's how we sound in the car all the time.
I mean, or Flavor Flav doing the national anthem, but
or that one cop doing Amazing Grace.
Not amazing.
He said,
that's another great thing. Since we're talking about Black stuff that is excellent. The Wiz is coming back to performing theaters near you.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to the Pantages in Los Angeles in March. So as it tours around.
It's at the Fox here in Atlanta right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So please go out and support the revival of the touring company of The Wiz.
And take your children so they can experience theater with Black representation. I think that's important as well. It's got to be more than movies. God, please let it be more than TikTok, right? And so again, let your kids see this. Let them understand that we can be performers. I keep going back to, what's her name? Leslie Jones, when she talked about how she got into comedy. Her touchstone was seeing Whoopi Goldberg on screen and saying, Daddy, she looks like me. Mm-hmm. And knowing that she could achieve comic greatness because she had seen it done. And there's so many things that we don't think about our kids need to see. Theater and arts it's got to be more than just Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, as much as I love her and I rock with Megan Thee Stallion, it's my Houston girl, but we've got to be able to diversify the interests of our students, of our kids, right? And help them figure out how to express themselves, even though, you know, somebody might write a song about how they got their feelings hurt. I would rather them write a song about how they got their feelings hurt than put their hands on somebody. I would rather them draw a picture, write a poem. Even though I hate spoken word, I would take spoken word over losing another young man to the school to prison pipeline because we wouldn't let him cry.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about what I said. We wouldn't let him cry, but it's okay for him to come out of jail at 19. We got to do better. And by we, I mean all of y'all with kids. I will do my part. I will correct your children in public when I see them.
Come on, Auntie Joy.
I am everybody's auntie. But I also will get on parents, and I've done this before. Sometimes parents don't like what I got to say, but let your kids be your kids. They are not small versions of you. They are individual human beings with their own emotions, feelings, motivations, goals, etc. Let them find themselves. And it's your job, me speaking as a childless person, I think it's the job of a parent to help them discover who they are, instead of trying to mold them into what you wish they would be. That's just heartache for everybody. And then you got the problems. So everybody do better. I will put in my part too, but I don't babysit. So
well, what I would, unless you have something else, Joy, I would like to close out the show with a shout out to Black excellence in something that Joy especially is a fan of. I'm a fan of it too. This is Black Girl Magic Merlot by the McBride sisters. And I picked up 2 bottles of the Merlot and 2 bottles of the Zen because it's Thanksgiving and my dad loves reds. And so we're going to be drinking this in Newport Coast and also probably at Thanksgiving dinner. But this is, I had seen an article about these sisters, McBride sisters, but I had never gone out because, you know, at present, I'm not really running around doing a whole lot of alcohol purchases. And so I didn't get to a Wine and More or a Bevmo or anything like that, Total Wine. But I happened to be at my grocery store and they had a display and I was like, oh, let me get 2 bottles of this. I said, you know what? Let me get 3 bottles. And it was only after I got the 3rd bottle that I realized it wasn't just Merlot. I'm a big Merlot fan, but they had a Zen as well. And I was like, oh.
They've got the whole shebang bang. They got a Brut. I think they got a Cabernet. They got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Well, at Mosto, they only had the 2. And so I grabbed a bunch. So I have 4 bottles of Black Girl Magic. So I will be consuming the magic and I will definitely be doing a review because if I can get my dad, who has never done social media at all and will not doesn't have a Facebook page, you know, he has to look at my mom's. When I send a link to him, he can look at the Instagrams because he doesn't have to log in. But for Facebook and stuff, he doesn't watch it because
you want to get him to review it with you.
I'm going to get him to review it just because that's a real enophile. I'm an amateur compared to my dad. So
I drink box wine, so I'm clearly not involved in this conversation at all. But I will say, y'all know I'll be loving me some Target box wine, but I do buy Black Girl Magic. It is good. I think you'll like it. It's for the money. It's an excellent vintage. But also, I buy that for gifts if I'm going to give somebody a bottle of wine to take to their house. Yeah. Please don't let your kids try to drink Black Girl Magic thinking they're about to be fancy and fly. That's a whole different Thanksgiving. You don't want that.
You really don't. But we do want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. We know it's a time of family. It's certainly a time of family for me. My parents are coming back out. I'm going to get to see my brother this week, which is wonderful. So we wish you all the best in the giving of the thanks or Friendsgivings, Thanksgiving, Friendsgivings, the entire shebang. Black Friday, which has certainly changed since the advent of Amazon, because ain't nobody standing out in the cold no more when you can order that shit online. So
I want to give a moment of recognition to all the indigenous tribes of the United States. They got effed the hell over for us to celebrate. And we can talk about, it's about food now. It's great that we try to repurpose this holiday that the government has given us to try to say it's about reconnecting with families. Let's not forget all the families that were decimated by this country. Andrew Jackson in particular, when it comes to how we became this great experiment, we stand on a lot of dead bodies. Half of the stuff named in the country, Kentucky, Chattahoochee, Ohio,
Illinois.
all of these are Native American names. So let's shout out for them. You will see me posting more stuff about Indigenous Peoples Day, etc. around this Thanksgiving holiday. Shout out to the Indian in my family.
Well, shout out to turkey and leg of lamb and handmade cranberry sauce.
Yes, handmade cranberry sauce. What? I'm gonna let you have your handmade cranberry sauce. You go ahead and do that, Joelle.
And I know some people like to slice it, but spooning it is better. And we just wish you all the best.
Spooning.
Okay, we'll see. So with that, I will say I'm Tom Cunningham.
I am Joy Stevens.
And this is Steel Sharpens Steel. We'll see you all again soon.